everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Wednesday, where today we're going to be continuing our month of Castlevania. This time we'll be playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance for the Game Boy Advance. So without any further introduction, let's hop right into this. So, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, if you're unfamiliar with it, it was the second Castlevania game on the Game Boy Advance, and it follows the adventures of Juste Belmont as he, does his Belmont duty in vanquishing Dracula, but he's not alone in this. He also comes with his friend Maxim, and his, girlfriend or other friend, Lydia, or Lydie, or something like that. Pronunciation of a lot of the names in the Castlevania series are like a hit or a miss, but basically Juste is the most powerful Belmont at the time, as he is really traversed with magic, or well-versed with magic, and as you play through the game, you do get access to a bunch of different spells and stuff. How many of those we'll get in this video, I'm not too sure, but we'll definitely see. So with a lot of these Metroidvania or post-Symphony Castlevania games, we start with a bunch of text, just like with Circle of the Moon that we did last week. Now, with this game, a lot of people tend to not like it as much. They feel that the music really is where this game kind of falls short. Whereas Castlevania is a series that's known for its soundtrack, this game has very compressed audio, and people tend to not like that a lot. I mean, personally, I think it's fine. You can still kind of see where they were going, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Another thing that people kind of find weird is that, when Juste is running, he'll have this trail behind him. And the thing that people don't seem to realize is that this game was released on the Game Boy Advance. Not the SP, the normal Game Boy Advance with no backlit screen, and it's super dark, and you need to have the light at the right angle, kind of similar to the original Game Boy. So that this little blue outline and blue trail was really just to help, differentiate Juste from the background. I don't think any of the enemies have that either, but I don't know. And in lore, it's probably he's got some sort of magical powers or something, and that's why, his steps are imbued with this trailing effect. But yeah, in this game, unlike with, Circle of the Moon, we do get a dash, and it works forward and backwards. It's just dependent on which way you are holding the directional pad when you're going, or in this case a thumbstick, because I'm playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console, so I'm using a Wii U Pro Controller. Alright, well, it looks like we can't actually get into this room yet because it is locked off from the other side, so that is unfortunate. But yeah, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, is this a game that you have played before? Personally, I have played almost all of the Castlevania games. I think I still have to beat Circle of the Moon, ironically, because I'm pretty sure I'm almost to the end of that game, but I don't think I actually completed it. So, it looks like we have our second sub-weapon. I'm not even sure where we got the knife from. We got the Holy Book, or the Bible. Is it called a Bible in this game? It might not be called a Bible in this game. It might just be called a book. Can we open up our inventory? We can. So we have a spell book. I don't think we'll actually be able to see, the sub-weapon name that we have, because, typically in these games they don't tell you the sub-weapons. So it may be a mystery as to what it is called in here. I'm sure that we could actually open up, that's where we got the knife, but I'm sure that we could actually open up the manual, because with a lot of the Wii U games, when you played them on here, they had manuals that you could access by using the pause menu, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I'm not using a gamepad, so I don't think we can see them, but yeah. And as we can see, we just got our first level up. Yeah, this game contains level ups just like the other Metroid or post-Symphony Metroid. What is this? Castlevania game. Post-Symphony Castlevania games. What is this? A ruby? A soul orb. So I believe this is going to allow us to see damage if we go down to, not spellbook, but we go down to items? No. Relics? Is that a relic? Okay, it is. Allows to recognize how much enemy, yeah, so basically we get to see how much damage we deal to enemies, and our whip does a pathetic 12 damage, so that's beautiful. I might actually keep the Super Fist, actually. This is a sub-weapon that I've barely used during my playthrough of Harmony. So kind of what's going on during the events of this game is, Lydia, our childhood friend, as I mentioned earlier, gets kidnapped you know, Dracula's castle appears, and then, you know, Maxim and Just end up going after her to try to save her. And this game does have a pretty interesting story. And if you're interested in like the Castlevania animes that are out, specifically Nocturne, having played, you know, a lot of the Castlevania games, it can kind of put into perspective a lot of what's going on in those series. Because Castlevania, like the first Netflix show, was based off of Castlevania 3, and it was actually kind of cool to see, you know, that in a movie sense, which was nice. But I would definitely recommend playing the handheld, or at least, you know, Castlevania 3 and Harmony of Dissonance, probably Symphony of the Night, and what's the other game that Richter's in? Wow, I can't actually believe that I am blanking on the name here. What is the other game that Richter's in? It was Symphony of the Night, and then it was this other Castlevania game. Oh my gosh, am I gonna have to like go and look this up? I swear to God, this is gonna bug me. I don't know, I'm gonna look like an idiot, so go ahead and just leave a comment down below, you know, what the game is that I'm completely blanking on. I cannot think of the name of that game right now. And it's gonna bug me. I'll have to look it up at the end of this thing. But yeah, I'm completely blanking on what that game is. So if you know, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Refresh my memory. It is the Castlevania game that takes place before Symphony and stars Richter Belmont. It is not Dracula X. So just to vanquish that out there, Dracula X for the Super Nintendo is a rendition of this game, but it is not the game that I am blanking on the name for. All right, so here we go, getting deeper and deeper into the castle. I don't think we've found anything, you know, of massive note yet. We haven't even found a boss yet. I do have to say that it has been quite some time since I last played Harmony of Dissonance. I have beaten the game. I don't recall if I got the best ending or if I just got an ending, because, you know, it's probably been about a year or two since I last played this. I would have to say that this is probably my least favorite out of the Game Boy Advance trilogy. I really liked Aria of Sorrow. Harmony of Dissonance was okay. I would probably say it's pretty mid, you know, and then Circle of the Moon, I don't know, I would say that Circle of the Moon and Harmony of Dissonance are at a pretty level playing field. I wouldn't say that any of these are bad per se, but, you know. Actually, we just obtained the ice book. So basically what the ice book allows us to do is if we go into our menu and we equip it, which it looks like it's already equipped, but I think we need to turn it on. Is that in our relics menu? No. Oh, I guess it would be under spellbook. Yeah, so if we turn on the ice book, what that will allow us to do is if we use our sub-weapon, it does a new effect. And you can get them for just about all the elements, I believe, and it looks like some other stuff as well, because there was definitely way more than fire, ice, earth, and water. But yeah, it increases the effect of the sub-weapon and changes what it does. I don't believe it changes the heart consumption. Oh no, it doesn't use hearts at all. It actually uses your magic meter. Interesting. And then I believe that there's like a keybind that you can use to rapid switch between them. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Apparently pushing the buttons does not activate it either, but you can toggle and swap between your spellbooks via a hotkey. I'll go ahead and I'll put that up on the screen now in case you're interested in playing for yourself. But yeah, you can use this hotkey and that'll toggle between your spellbooks without needing to go into this menu to turn them off. Now, we do have a map. We could go down. I guess let's go ahead and we'll head down and see if we can come across our first boss. Anything down here? Hello, Mr. Boss Man. Another potion. That's good. Oh, I didn't mean to use the sub weapon there accidentally. Is this a save? Nope, it is not. Is this one a save? Nope, it is not. You know what we'll do is we'll head back up and we'll go that right path. And I have a feeling that might lead to a boss. Whereas this looks like it's a little too deep for me right now. Because, you know, we're a little under-leveled, we're a little under-equipped, and I would like a save before we venture too deep into the catacombs, if you catch my drift there. Oh, this is the boss door, okay. let's go up, see if there's a save. There's probably a save. It is a Castlevania staple to have a save room somewhere near a boss room. You know, just in case you meet your demise unexpectedly to said boss, you can recoup without much hassle. Okay, is there a save on the other side? There is. Okay, so I just completely burned through some time going the right path. Gotta go left first. All right. Let's go on down there and take out, or see what we have as a boss. I'm not actually sure what's down here. My assumption is it'll be pretty easy because this is a starting room boss. Oh, yep. Actually, it looks like it is a bat. A nice reference to the original Castlevania here. Giant bat. Yep, there we go. Enjoy the axe. Oh wow, I have barely any hearts left. Let's see, if we go into the spell, not in the relics, if we go into the spell book, there we go, and turn on the ice book, what does this do? Oh, that's pretty good. 43 damage? Is it homing? Is that a homing attack? I might just use that, because our mana regenerates, unlike our hearts. Okay, it does not look like it's a homing attack. Let's see, this guy's probably almost done here too. Come on, Mr. Bat. Wow, this guy actually has a lot of health for it being like the first boss. I guess, is this like a staple of this? There we go. Now he's gone. Defeated. Eat my chain whip. Eat it. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that came back is that Castlevania 4 style of whip action. So yeah, you can sit there and fall into the whip like you used to be able to do on the Super Nintendo. And is that really all we got was orb? And that's it? We didn't get a power up? Interesting. Because normally with the Metroidvania style of games, after you defeat a boss, you get an ability, but this one, it was just full health, I guess. Interesting. Very fascinating. Again, it's been a long time since I played Harmony, and like, not to mention that I'm pretty sure that boss was optional. Yeah, because if we go back up here, then it ends up going back to where we've already been. So we can, okay, if I, Medusa, please stop doing what you're doing. But if we go back over here, it's literally where we just were. Like, what the heck? Okay, so that was like a completely optional boss. We didn't have to do that at all. Weird, very weird. All right, let's go ahead and we'll save. And then I may actually just call that quits here because I'm just about out of time. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, remember to drop a like and make that subscribe button glow so that you don't miss any future content. And if you have any games that you'd like to see covered, be sure to leave it down in the comments or pitch it at our official Discord server. Link down below in case you're interested in stopping by. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.